Okay, this is my little uphill both ways trip to school in Jamestown, New York. So here we are. This is actually even a little uphill right here going up Prospect Street. And we come up over to Kidder Street. Do the little zigzag in the straightest possible route. I may have been known to cut through a backyard or two at times, but so we come over Kidder Street. There's somebody walking home. Uh-oh. I think she's going to drop something. Yeah, she dropped something, so yeah, I had to deal with it, blow the horn. Okay, we're continuing on down. I believe this is Axtell down to South Main. So, of course, the return home trip, that is a hill I had to walk up. So now we're going over South Main, which is actually a little bit uphill after I went downhill. Come over South Main. Used to be a stoplight here. They went to a four-way stop sign when they reconstructed the street a couple of years ago. Okay, make a good stop. Allow the other car to go. Continue on down the hill. Now we're going down Newland. This road was reconstructed 4 years ago. Fortunately, they didn't make it any wider, but they did a nice job. It's an all new street underneath, new sidewalks. And of course, when I walked down here, it was probably 19. I don't know what it was. Probably 1974, 75. So we just crossed Foot Avenue with a green light. Come up to the stop sign now. This is the end of Newland, and we're on West Virginia Boulevard. So I would then walk up the hill. And no, this is not the final up the hill. So we're going to go on foot from here. So we're out of the truck, we're walking up to the set of steps. Now this is at Allen Park. So every day my neighbor and I walk together. No, we weren't Amish, neighbor. We walked together down these steps, talking the whole way to pass the time. It's actually just a little over a mile, but considering up and down hill and stoplights, and traffic signs and curbs. There's a little bench up there you could lounge on. I don't even remember that bench. So these steps were in a lot better shape then. We always had to be concerned about falling on them because there's stone on this side and slate, I think, on the other side. So come down through here because this was a shortcut. There's a little hole in the ground. It's like a storm drain maybe. There's a bridge looking to the north. This is the north end of Allen Park. So we would walk on across here. I did this for 2 years because in my final year they built the new school. So I would have been 13 in 1975. So it must have been 74, 75 I was doing this. Come across this nice bridge. "45 years later, I have very little recollection of this. I do know I took this route twice a day during the school year, rain or shine. Now here's where we start up the other side. These were good steps back then. They'd be slippery in the snow. Oh, what's this? Okay, so we ran into a fence. Apparently these stairs have been washed out. So I would imagine anybody that would have come this way now would be able to ride a bus. So these steps are just washed right out. 45 years later. Washed out and moved. These were a little treacherous in the wintertime. Ah, there's a hole. I don't know what that's from, but it appears that's where the water's coming from to wash the steps out. So obviously we're not the first one to cross this fence and walk on the steps. But I'll continue on up. Dead trees, overgrown. Now I know the south end of the park is in very good shape. Now here's a walking path through the park. I don't remember if this was there before, but it's quite a landing, so it probably was. I'll just continue on up the steps. And here we come to, I believe this would be East Virginia Boulevard. Very nice to overlook the park. Still kind of a favorite place to live. And here you see they reconstructed this area too. It's got a nicely paved street, new sidewalks. They've got the sidewalk there suitable for handicap and blind. And then we would just continue on up this hill. Now this is where, as I'm a little older, I don't walk up hills a lot, so I can make a little noise, so I get huffing along. And this is just past lunchtime on a nice September Wednesday. So people are back to school, only there's no junior high at the top of the hill. So we'll just huff it along up the hill. So we clearly are going uphill both ways. So I'm going uphill this way, and obviously to go home we had to go uphill.
Hey, pups.
I don't even know what time I went to school. Probably had to be there 8 o'clock. Maybe 7:50, something like that. So, okay, we continue on up the hill. Now we're just about halfway, believe it or not. Come up on a fire alarm box. This is, ironically, a Harrington Seaberg fire alarm box. It's been there a long time. Holbrook and Parkview. Parkview and Holbrook. And we'll just keep huffing away. Now in the city, the other junior highs, we had Lincoln, which was at the, I guess it would be at the top of a hill if you're coming from Steel Street. And then we had Washington Junior High, which again was at the top of a hill if you're coming up Buffalo Street, or if you're coming from Washington. So yeah, it seems like anywhere you went in the town you had to go uphill. Just not so sure everybody had a uphill both ways like we did. If I rode a bus, I'm not sure what I'd be like. This is quite a bit of exercise for a 13-year-old kid every day. Now here we come. You can see the school that's still there. That was actually built on the track. That was basically, I think it was a moved Rogers School. The original school was down by WCA Hospital. They rebuilt it, and I think they maintained the name. So in my second year at this school, we didn't have access to the track and the football field. So outdoor athletic activities were performed on the sidewalk around the school. That tree and that tree were obviously here. They were probably here when my father went to this school. There's a sidewalk that came up to the, would it be the north door? Those that went here know they had a north door, a center door, and a south door. And this is where the sidewalk would have been to come up to that north set of doors. And I'll give you a little panoramic view. And thanks for watching. Let's take a little view around here. This is what it looks like today. Thanks for watching, folks.